September 4th, Saturday, one more day, and then the fair is over and we are at Krug Expedition. And here stands a top-notch Arocs. It has already been sold. Sold is written on it. But it is usually the case that no vehicles are built here for stock. But in most cases, these are customer vehicles that the customer is happy to provide to showcase what can be done. Yes, you are the...
I am Vitalik Noah, the Expedition.
It's nice, isn't it?
Yes, it has turned out beautifully.
Yes. Color is really great. You wouldn't even think that it has anything to do with the military. Rather, gray is totally timeless. Exactly. You have the option at Mercedes-Benz to order any color in the world, right?
Yes, pretty much. So all Ralphs definitely work, but metallic also works at Mercedes.
Yes, that's the Arocs. It's out on construction sites. We have already filmed many construction sites where it has to perform under the most adverse conditions. In construction operations, it can really transport a lot. You are very satisfied with the chassis, right?
Yes, we are definitely very satisfied, and we have to technically fit into a 33-ton vehicle, of course, registered for 26 due to traffic regulations. We come here with the setup to about 15, 16 tons, ready for travel. This means it still has plenty of room for more.
That's right, yes. In construction operations, I've seen them drive around with 40 tons and so on, huh? This means it doesn't matter much there, but it can handle 33 tons.
It can handle at least 3 and 30. Of course, there is also safety involved.
Safety is included. So, the vehicle. Yes, one must really say. This is currently the heavy-duty Peak from Mercedes-Benz. There are other vehicles, but I would say the comfort feels like a passenger car inside. Even the noise emissions, it drives like a passenger car, like a very large SUV, right?
Yes, a slightly larger SUV, of course, because of the 3 axles and the wheelbase. Otherwise, you have all kinds of comfort here, from massage seats, air conditioning, seat heating, etc. So, what you need for traveling.
So, it naturally has a front camera, that's the mirror here. Otherwise, electronic mirrors are included on top. It starts with, where are you from, Cup?
We come from Austria. Our headquarters is in Austria. We manufacture the cabins in Ukraine, and the final production takes place in Austria.
So, that was the idea here. This is probably a customer vehicle, right?
Exactly, it is a customer vehicle.
Has it already been out in the terrain?
No, not yet. It has just driven here from Austria.
I just came in here. You placed it very close. At first I didn't notice it at all, considering its length. Yes, here the frame that is attached outside is of course a perfect branch deflector. But it has many functions, right?
Yes, exactly. Above, it serves as a rooftop terrace. You can climb onto the roof and enjoy wine or coffee with 2 lounge chairs and a small table while observing the wilderness.
The structure has a large length, I estimate, about 7 meters.
What does it have? 7.20 meters, exactly.
Next structure, just of course, sleeping option for the guide inside. This means that if he comes along, he can also sleep in the driver's cabin.
Exactly. We have a seating and sleeping combination here at the back. A total of 6 seatbelt places in the driver's cabin. He is in the seat.
So I always like to mention the large chemical plant that is now there. How does it look with the Apple shutdown?
Sure, you can prepare the vehicles well for long-distance travel outside of Europe. There are many options. Exhaust gas recirculation is usually the big enemy. Yes, the diesel quality. How? Is this now a problem for the Arocs? No, it can certainly be prepared. If you take the vehicle as it is from the factory and drive it further away, you should prepare the vehicles beforehand. There are professionals in the market who make the impossible possible.
Often the sulfur content is simply too low. This is also a problem when you are involved, and it is of course on leaf springs, so nothing like air suspension or so.
This is the tough vehicle with leaf spring suspension in the front and rear.
So is the frame original now, or is it a bit longer for you?
No, it is original, the chassis frame.
Okay.
It is rather still cut off.
Rather still cut off. What is there to modify when you receive it from Mercedes? So nothing on the machine itself, right?
Yes, yes. First, we will clean up this mess here. The air tanks will be moved inward, the air pressure cartridges, etc. Components will be moved inward where possible, and the correct tanks will be installed accordingly. In this case, he has 2 300 liters on the right and left with a switch.
The whole thing can be folded up for construction operations, I would almost say, but Let's say for countries where that is not required, in the off-road area, it is folded up.
Otherwise, it is a hydraulic lift that folds down 90 degrees at the top. Then, a spare tire and a heavy motorcycle can be placed on it, and it can be lowered parallel to the ground.
Really hydraulic. If you could show me that briefly, would that be possible?
I'll give it a try.
You will give it a try. Vitaly wasn't prepared for this, but this is the remote control, like for a very large diesel locomotive.
Exactly. And let's try out our own.
It seems to have worked now. Yes, often also in trade fair operations, there is a safety feature outside.
I will ask my colleague later. He should take a look.
Yes, exactly. We do it like this, simultaneously. There are storage boxes everywhere, right? They're closed now, aren't they?
They are, of course, sealed here with compression locks. You can also hear the air escaping when you close them. We have now accommodated an outdoor kitchen in the storage compartment.
No. For folding or how?
For unfolding, exactly.
This is one. It is a complete outdoor kitchen for grilling outside. Be careful. Do you think it couldn't get any bigger? This is also high tech. That means it has to fit exactly in here. Then it unfolds on both sides. Induction cooktop.
We have another drawer here with walls. Everything is made of stainless steel. Then, under the cutting board, there is an electric grill. Now we just need the lava stones. The lava stones go in, and there we have a small sink. The water is inside, frost-proof.
2001. The good old Quattro.
Here we have an outdoor shower connection where the hose attaches with the connector, and then you can set warm and cold at the same time.
So, and this is the construction quality. I'll just show some small details down here, which are built to last. The outer wall structure is fiberglass.
Yes, made of fiberglass without material mixing. Outside inner handle cable about 6 centimeters total wall structure. You can see that in this crossweave we have a particularly extreme laminate built into the outer skin, which has double the stiffness and impact resistance compared to normal gel coat. Really? Yes, we can take a look at that later. We have a poster sample to break so you can clearly see the comparison and how it works.
Cool. Victron Energy. Next to it, what is on the right side?
This is a water treatment system, in this case with an aqua blue reverse osmosis. This means I can produce pure water, clinically pure water, distilled water from any puddle or well.
Yes. And everywhere here are heavy-duty pull-outs, which are for Euro boxes, just for storage. So that can, of course, be done with a ladder. The ladder is somewhere in here. Yes, pull it out.
Our complete equipment for such vehicles is, of course, a telescopic ladder, 2001.
So to give you a size comparison, if you stand next to it, this is the opening, so you can see it. That's quite a load capacity, because the customer can determine it themselves. If they say they want to take a quad along, they just have to say so. It could also be placed on the back. Exactly. The quad works at the back as well, but the spare tire has to stay at home, because both would simply be too long for the lift.
Pretty cool.
The sand area has been secured just like that. Ukraine, as a manufacturing location, one doesn't really know much about it. Yes, they can do that, right?
I have the feeling that you can see there are still craftsmen who possess the trade.
Well, of course, those are the corresponding hours that go into it. Estimate here for such a vehicle.
Well, yes, roughly.
I'm just looking in here. There's another storage compartment on the side, and we will see that shortly. Yes, you have hidden it quite well, I must say. Is this the wall structure? Exactly, this is the wall structure.
We have a normal gel coat inside with approximately 2.1 millimeter thickness, and this extreme laminate layer outside with 2.1 millimeter, so that it can break through once. Exactly, please break it. Completely break through. And now try to break through our outer laminate. The same thickness. Network. The cassette is heavy. Yes.
Okay, that means if a branch comes from the side now, nothing will happen.
The advantage of fiberglass is that it can, of course, be repaired if damage occurs somewhere. Every boat builder around the world can work with and repair fiberglass.
But that will be difficult here.
That means, of course, you can shoot through. You have to manage that, but without a bridge, it is often lower than you think. We have had customers who crashed into a bridge and shaved off the corner, and that can all be fixed again.
That can be fixed, yes. A very large airline track can now hold everything.
A tarp or something like that, a sail, a small sunshade.
You build the windows, cells. Exactly, we build them ourselves.
They are almost identical in construction to KCT windows.
Impact resistant. Impact resistant, of course. So, the tires, customer can also choose, but is this a good tire?
This is a good tire, so standard 14 R, I would say. The larger tire is very good off-road. You can also go with a smaller size, 395 80/20. That one is more designed for the road and long distances.
Is it loud, very loud, or is it okay?
It's okay. With the dampened cab, modern cab, you hardly notice the noises. The older chassis, of course, it's different.
So the whole thing is actually just a little bit assembled here again.
We have a spring suspension. So at the front and rear we have large springs. And here in the axle area, small springs, 2001, which means that at the front and rear it is loose. And during twisting, the auxiliary frame lifts diagonally from the chassis frame.
A nice staircase. That wasn't in the catalog, was it? Yes, it is in our catalog.
We also gladly sell these for self-builders. Stainless steel. Yes. Stainless steel sides on the outside and aluminum. I can show you how the third one works.
Please show it. Electrically. Vitali, a small staircase like that is really big, but it's also a challenge. It shouldn't wobble too much.
Exactly, we can try that again right away. It is quite stable. Goes in, and then comes out again.
There was also a handrail to attach. No. Somewhere it ends. Yes, if I now.
You also have to be fit for this type of travel with these vehicles.
You have to be fit, so you can step on it. I'll just check if anything wobbles. No, there's hardly anything wobbling.
The vehicle has a bit of suspension. Yes, we had a 200-man, 200-kilo man standing here yesterday. That works wonderfully.
Tank volume, what? What is included here now? So we have 300L on one side and 300 on the other side.
Yes, it sounded like 600.
Cool. Let me show it from the side, because it's such a shame that you placed it at the back. Yes, because you have something very special. You have a 7.5-ton vehicle that you made at the front. Absolute lightweight construction, absolute lightweight design. Our smallest project. We've been working on it for 2 years. Price for that.
It is located approximately from...
That is, of course, a huge challenge.
7.5 tons, including the chassis and VAT. So the total price is available from approximately what is the front village. Man, you love Mercedes. They are lightweight and have a nice small 4-cylinder engine. A small Unimog will also be installed there, proven, with good off-road capability. And all locks. And the price is around 700.
So I would have thought well over 1 million. No, 700. So still affordable for a small amount? Yes, that's how it is. Well, those who are knowledgeable about the quality with everything included, depending on the equipment, we will see that inside shortly, because I already suspect that you really gave it your all, right?
Inside, of course, yes. It is our series quality.
The vehicle is indeed of series quality.
Amboss veneer and a proper plywood board as the core.
The floor is vinyl.
Vinyl flooring with underfloor heating underneath.
Let's go inside and show the whole thing. Also, the entry door is of course secure, but the customer can choose what they want. If they want additional locks inside, whatever.
Yes, we already have a proper locking system in here. 3-point locking at the top, and pins also extend at the bottom. And it couldn't be done much better.
Surround camera directly mounted with a very large one on top. It's interesting. When you open it, you can turn it right away. Yes. Now close it again and turn it once more. And now pull.
It comes from shipbuilding. So that even when there is a lot of weight inside, everything stays nicely in place during the ride.
2001. A lot of small compartments. So I'll slowly go in. Now looking to the left. The feeling of space is always crucial. With a length of 7 meters compared to vehicles from the road segment, which have 10 meters or so at the same length, or 12 meters.
The total length of the vehicle is approximately 1030 meters.
1030 it indeed seems much larger.
Larger? Of course, the rear lift is also added. When it is lowered, we are also somewhere around 11.5.
Wow, is the interior an absolute luxury segment, or?
Yes, so we build the vehicles, let's say for a long journey, for a world trip without much frills, just the essentials. Well, I see that one. Always tries to reduce a bit, so only as much as necessary and as little as possible to install in the vehicles. Also in technology.
Well, a bit of understatement. That is, of course, nice. So you have continuous wall cabinets, which makes the whole space not feel like a cabinet, but incredibly narrow. The construction width is 245. What do you have?
47?
Swiss format is a commonly used and well-regarded system.
Exactly.
I think they want 2.47 or something. The Swiss?
The Swiss, no, there are completely normal memories with 250 mem, 255 mem overall.
So then a very large round seating group, a cross sleeper, which of course clearly in terms of width doesn't matter at all. It could be crosswise or lengthwise. The bed size.
The bed size here is 1.60 meter by 2 meter. Yes, that's the maximum that makes sense.
Small installation air conditioning. You have an incredible amount of solar on the roof.
I assume we have 1500 watts installed here in this vehicle and 900 ampere hours with 24V lithium ion batteries.
900? 100 at 24?
At 24, that means, okay, 1820, just over 20 kilowatt of power that we can store. There is a small TV lift. The television is not yet installed. It fits a 32-inch television.
Construction time of the vehicle, approximately?
1 year, so total delivery time, construction time, pure construction time is approximately 6 months.
6 months?
And the customer is always welcome to take a look in between, of course.
From the first step to the end, Ukraine, you fly there to the airport.
Exactly, Kiev, and we are approximately about 2.5 hours away from Kiev, is the manufacturing facility, the production, and the vehicles are 90% completed there in total. We have the entire production chain in our own hands, from pressing plates. We laminate ourselves. We have our own vacuum tables. Thus, we also have the capability to integrate all the lighting, the sockets, everything into the construction wall. Steel construction, tanks, electrical work, complete furniture carpentry. Everything is done internally within our company.
Yes, once again a Max fan. It's so quiet, that's the huge advantage, and it works.
It works great. We like to install it. Always at least 2 pieces in the vehicle, one in the kitchen area, the other in the bathroom.
A large kitchen, if you just stand next to it and tell me how tall you are. I'm 78 tall. 1.78 meter above you, which means we have a standing height of 2.5 meter, 2 meter, that creates space. So you don't have any. Well, if someone comes who is even taller, he can tell you. That's the end.
Of course it works. So we limit ourselves to our series that we produce, but we manufacture about 2 vehicles a year, pure custom vehicles, where we can meet every customer request.
Almost like a dishwasher. What is that exactly? That is a dishwasher. Quite practical in a world travel mobile. There will be others who say, well, a dishwasher, but...
Yes, it makes sense. It makes sense. If you have children and want to spend as much time as possible with the family, having a dishwasher definitely makes sense.
The total length of 10 meters is strong, which means you are still somewhat capable of standing freely, somewhere in Italy or something when you drive. When I think about it, there are also many that are 12 meters long, which have real problems.
Yes, that's true, yes. However, the vehicles are not built for Europe, but for our customers. World travel. Yes, the Pan American travelers drive on the Silk Road. And Asia is one of the destinations where the vehicles really make sense. Let's get to that right away. Please, let's open a few cabinets. The refrigerator is behind you. Exactly, we have the refrigerator here. Family doctor? No, Vitrifrigo from Yacht Construction. 24V compressor refrigerator with a capacity of 255 liters.
Very, very energy efficient. Exactly, it is also very quiet. It's pretty much the best you can get. Vitrifrigo from Italy.
Exactly, we have had the best experiences. We have tried everything and settled on this. Now, where is the compressor located? The compressor is directly attached at the back. Used sand directly attached.
Thank you very much.
Then here, what is this? This is the compartment for a washing machine. A washer dryer will go in here. A large one hasn't been installed yet. But as I said, everything is prepared.
The vehicles will probably not go below 0 degrees in winter at all. That means they will be continuously heated, right?
Exactly, they will be heated. The vehicles can be winterized. You have to pay a little attention to that, especially with the dishwasher.
That was the question. That household appliances they usually don't have such a drain.
Exactly, that's how everything works with the dishwasher as well. Very nice.
Yes, right over there next to it. Especially with the vehicle setup, many things need to be considered. This is a coat hook, and this is a coat hook for hangers.
Of course, we also want to take wonderful clothes on such a trip in case we go out.
We have been on the road for a year now. This means you need different clothes. You can't just say, I'll only take summer clothes. You never know what tomorrow will bring.
Exactly, you basically have to have the entire wardrobe with you and store it somewhere.
So on the left side, we have already shown the kitchen. What kind of surface is this now?
This is Korean upon customer request, exactly. Artificial stone upon customer request.
I assume that this is also milled by you.
Yes, we also do it ourselves. Completely in-house production.
Induction stove. Victron Energy. You are quite happy with it.
Yes, pretty much. We work in combination with MG, so MG Energy, which is the partner of Victron. And we take the batteries from them because they fit better into our package concept of modular construction. We have an energy block that looks the same in every vehicle and can be equipped with 3, 6 or 900 ampere hours. Everything is dimmable.
The question is, if something like this breaks down when I'm at the end of the world, like a combination, does it make sense to take a second one along?
Only if you are an electrician and can replace it yourself, so it's not easy.
Yes, of course, it's about availability. A lot speaks for Master Volt and so on when you say it's available in every port, but you have no problem with that. Victron as well. It also comes from the marine sector, and where there is a coast, there is Victron. And that's not a problem either, right?
That is absolutely no problem.
I believe everything has to be somehow available because it never breaks down, but then it somehow does break down. It can happen sometimes.
Because we are the large inverters, relatively stable, we currently have no customer problems with that.
If desired, also 2 pieces, that would be no problem, as redundancy to separate them a bit.
Yes, exactly. It works too.
You probably have a 230V generator on board, right?
No, we have a 24V generator, so a second generator on the chassis. It provides about 180A charging power directly at idle. A second one is installed at idle, and it delivers full power at idle.
So 2 different heaters. That is really redundant now.
The advantage is the Webasto automatic altitude adjustment up to 5,000 meters. This is the 5 kilo heater, and here we also have an Arctic Pro 9 kilo heater installed. It works automatically up to 5,000 meters.
5,000 meters. So here's the coffee machine, the small Nespresso. That's pretty much the only thing that is the same in my car. But coffee must not be missing. Here too, it's a customer request. If they say, I want a huge machine here, just say so.
Exactly. As I said, the space is free, so you can place any machine there.
So underneath there are 2 small drawers, and I naturally really like the closures. That means you can leave them open when you are parked. Then you can just pull them. You can also leave them like that. It makes it very quick to access.
I can also fold them down like this, and then I have them back quickly, without using the compression.
What is just underneath here?
It may need to stand for a moment. Please, let's stand up. So our concept is always structured in such a way that we have an electrical compartment under one seating group where our energy module is located. On the other seating area side we have a water tank, and in the middle we have the entire water distribution, the boiler and the pumps.
We were about to open it. The books fall automatically there, you already know that. You've opened it a few times. What kind of heating system is in here?
As I said, the Webasto 5 kilowatts and 9 kilowatts with an exchanger, a large heat exchanger. Yes, it supplies this unit here in the middle. There is a boiler installed with 30 liters and a heating circuit distributor, so everything is household technology, just like at home.
So that means there is no air circulation here, nothing like that, but it is warmth like at home.
Exactly. Warmth like at home from the underfloor heating as core warmth, comfort warmth. Otherwise, heating is done with convectors. We have one here, one in the bed, and one in the children's room. Inside.
From here on, everything is probably free of wood. This means that if the worst case happens, probably not much will happen.
Yes, not much happens. We also have water. Water-resistant wood here.
Okay, so this table here literally comes from the marine sector.
In the marine area, it is possible to leave the position elevated, similar to a patch, ensuring that the original setup remains intact and functional without any alterations.
So, to the left into the batteries, to the left into the batteries, 2001. You don't need to access it all the time, but in case of emergencies, you can reach it very easily. I love Velcro. No subject at all. Wow.
This is our energy block. It fits into the smallest footprint of our production vehicles, meaning in the smallest seating group, and is always built the same way. So there is a fan inside that monitors the temperature and also a blower to the outside. And the advantage is that when we have many vehicles out in the world, we know that they are all built the same way and where to reach if there is a problem.
That also comes from the marine sector, right? Exactly. It also has emergency power.
No, we don't have an emergency power generator here. As I said, this second alternator chassis is the emergency vehicle. Run for a few hours, and then you have properly stored energy again.
Wherever you stand, there is usually no one, so it doesn't matter. Besides, you probably can't hear the engine at the back at all. That's very impressive. Really. I'm very happy with you. It's a completely different concept than most others.
So we place great importance on modular design. That this water distribution block we just saw looks the same in all vehicles. There are two options with 30 and 20 liters. Here, a 30L boiler is specifically installed, and we are in particular trying certain 30L boilers. That means approximately about 100 liters or so. You can shower until the tank is empty.
Okay, which brings us to the topic. What tanks are inside here?
About 620 liters, 20 exactly. Fresh water distributed over 2 tanks, SO's EOS, and I can pull at any time.
From every puddle, you said.
Exactly, you can produce fresh water from every puddle or from a regular source, like a stream.
Depending on where you are, the water may look clean, but there is also the reverse osmosis system. Your friend, of course.
Yes, all of this happens in front of the tanks. The cleaning, the tanks are filled, and they contain clean water. And after the tanks are emptied, we have a second faucet here, where we further purify the water with an activated carbon filter for drinking water and cooking.
So the goal is zero particles in it. Exactly, 0 ppm for odors, etc. There.
Everything is removed here again in case I shouldn't have anything in the tank.
If you please assemble that again. People find it exciting because it went quickly. So you can access it from the side, also from the inside. You don't have to crawl under the car. Then you have special compartments here, which I have already discovered.
Exactly. Here is the danger installed. And on the right and left, there is basically a small compartment that you don't have to access very often, for example, for bed linen or clothing that is not needed seasonally.
Krug Expedition with magnetic fly screen. While you showed the windows, it was reassembled. A sound system built in here. The air conditioning. What air conditioning is that?
This is a 24V air conditioning unit, also from Vitrofrigo. The advantage is that it is incredibly flat, only 140 millimeters on the roof, and that is already 14 centimeters, very flat, compared to normal air conditioning units, which are about 20-24 centimeters.
This is a window here. A roof window. Exactly. Roof window. This is the photo platform then, right? That means I can climb up from here.
The access to the terrace is of course from the driver's cabin. You go out here, we have walkable solar panels.
So, if you could be so kind as to open it briefly, I can film outside because the walkable... Do you have walkable solar panels?
Exactly. That is the aspect of safety. You can walk nicely up there and also clean everything.
So I will go take a quick look to see if I can get up there somehow.
Yes, I somehow manage it. At my age.
So wait a moment. I'm going up for a bit. This is what it looks like on one side. I'll turn it carefully.
I can't see anything right now, but you can see a bit on the display. There you can see the air conditioning and the flat solar panels around it. In principle, you can walk completely over it and clean the solar panels, and this is how you access the driver's cabin.
And of course now, if you stand up for a moment, please do so optimally.
You can now take the camera out and have a view here, take photos. You always have a wonderful panoramic view.
However, you must not take a chair and place it on top or on the solar panels.
I wouldn't do that now, but I can of course take the chairs with me and put one on the driver's cabin roof. There's a metal plate and I can set a chair there.
Okay, yes, it was like this. At first we thought you would please go onto the platform in the driver's cabin. No, please don't do that. Because that's world travel level. That means you can fall off there. We're not doing that now. But the people, I mean, those who do that, might also have a first aid kit with them to treat any injuries immediately. Yes, great. So you have a large audience? You are already very well known in the market? Or are you new?
Yes, indeed, we have been building for about 10 years. Well, 10 years since the first vehicle. And we are building 27 vehicles this year. 27, and next year we will completely add this Rhino series. We have built a dedicated production line for that. Next year, 24 will come off the assembly line. 24, that means breaking the 50 vehicle sound barrier. Yes, exactly.
Most, well many, build only 3 to 5 vehicles or so, but you build many, many more. As a result, you obviously have many vehicles out there. You probably get a lot of feedback from customers, right?
Exactly, we have a lot of customers, around 10. The permanent vehicles have been in use for 2, 3, 4 years, so full-time travelers. And we maintain very, very close contact with them and continuously optimize the vehicles. And especially with this modular construction method, there are, of course, scaling possibilities for quality.
That means you can completely replace it. You can essentially equip the module with a completely different technology. That would be possible, right?
Yes, it should be necessary. We have, of course, already tried a lot and have now essentially settled on the technology we are currently building. 2001 is really well thought out.
Nice window.
Thank you.
So, up here you have fly blackout and fly protection again. This is also good for the very small mosquitoes.
No, of course, you can install another net, a very fine one. Then, of course, the throughput. And some customers come and say, here, I want 2 windows with very fine throughput when there are many flies and I still want to get air.
There are really nasty, very small ones. I noticed that in Italy. You can't see them. It's unimaginable. So I have no idea where they come from. And I have seen new mosquitoes now. They are red. Have you ever seen something like that? Very small, red. Someone probably brought them in some banana box. They are here now too. The feeling of space with the white and the wood is incredibly spacey, right?
Yes, it is already clean and tidy, and I always try to design the vehicles to be modern and clean. He can, of course, always create it himself later with decorations and other little things, hooks, color splashes. He can do something.
But the way it is here now, it could also be a yacht. Then you have, of course, chosen surfaces that you won't damage in this lifetime. Yes, they are so hard that it's more likely the material that holds it will break, right? Yes, probably. Yeah, cool. Now let's go over there. Where I'm sitting, there's still a block. That's the sleeping area. This is actually a 2-person vehicle, right?
No, it is now designed for families. So basically 4 fixed sleeping places plus 2 that can be converted.
4 fixed. I'm just thinking bunk beds somewhere in the front.
Really, exactly, we don't have that in the children's room yet.
Yes, in a moment. But maybe to the right, if you could show me that block down there.
Nice, I have a table to the side.
And you come out for a moment. That is also a development curve that you have gone through. I assume that vehicle number 0 didn't look like that, did it?
Yes, almost.
So the modules, I need to get used to that. But it's actually a great idea. That means you have water in the middle.
Exactly, you see water tanks on the right.
Of course, dust brown is not needed so often. Now every CM is used again.
I also really quite like the sound when you close it.
Exactly, this is one of the 2 water tanks. We have a pressure filling system with pressure monitoring and solenoid valves that close accordingly when the tank is full. Exactly. We have 2 access openings here, perfect for cleaning it and with a watering can. If there is no pressure now and the submersible pump should be broken, I can still fill the tanks with a watering watering can here.
So that means there is no overflow or anything like that.
Of course, there is also overflow, but if I go in there with 3 bar and then we still continue to lay the surfacing, yes, and supposedly
They are of course built for you as well, or the tanks are built by us.
10mm palm welded inside and outside. Big cinema.
Very nice. Thank you, Vladimir. So, the big children's room. Let's take a look at it. I'm as curious as a bowstring because I love bunk beds. Do you have bunk beds?
Yes, in the vehicle it is prepared for a second bed below. We now have a bunk bed up here.
Oh, how cute. That could also be a dog bed.
190 by 70, 190 mm by 70. Exactly. As soon as the cabinet comes out, a bunk bed is still possible below. Otherwise, here is a small office.
The office or the children's room? Here the child can also play.
Exactly. And the good thing is, you can basically lift this here.
It stays in place. Oh yes. And then you have the space here in case that doesn't work with the topic of dogs. No problem. You can address it. You have already realized dog boxes. Yes, that's a kind of role. Okay. So if you ever... You can crawl through, because we will shortly go into the driver's cabin. We will also show the wet area shortly. Then I have a bit more space and can show here, this is a separate room if someone needs to work. That can happen. You can just close it. Exactly. Please close the door. Again, open and close the door. Exactly. If you close it again with a bit of momentum.
Yes. We have the magnet. Yes, nothing sticks out. You can't get caught. And if I close it slowly, you can hardly hear it. Using...
Yes. The magnetic catches. Wow. That sounded solid when closing. That means people also close doors and check how it sounds overall.
Exactly. We have a pharmacy drawer here as an extension for the kitchen. For spices or other items.
So I'll briefly show this seating area again. It doesn't look very nice right now because the cushion is attached. It is magnetic or with Velcro.
Yes. The cushions are actually from the seating area in the front. You have the option to rearrange them here. Exactly. We just placed them here because they are missing.
Okay, that means they are still being made. The vehicle is not quite finished yet, I must say.
Work freshly out. It is now coming back to us after the fair. And the election is in a week.
I like that there is a small space here. Yes, you have USB here. I can sit completely inside. I am 1.83 meters tall. You can do your laptop work. You have your piece.
Yes, you can hang a monitor or a TV on the wall here.
Yes, an additional connection. Or you can secure a computer here and then these windows. That means this strike is fixed. You can't just get through like that.
Indeed, absolutely correct.
What is here is so small that no one can get through, but that's a wish. There is also something the customer wants.
No, not necessarily. We go up to M20 at most for window size, quite simply, because that is still acceptable. This is not like with the large motorhome. Such a window is of course also a risk of burglary and heat exposure and cold impression, and so on. One tries to make the windows as small as possible, and you live outside in nature while traveling.
So, up here is a small tilt and turn window. Of course also with the same quality. Of course it also has to be manufactured a little differently than a side window. It looks original like on a yacht. The fittings look like a high quality finish. That creates trust. Exactly. So if you could be so kind as to open the door, it opens completely, right? Yes, 90 degrees. Wait a moment, I'll come out. We'll see if I can fold myself in there. And yes, it's quite a large shower when you just step in. You're wearing socks, those. Blue socks fit well. That suits the marine theme, and there's really a lot of space.
The shower is really huge. I'm not exactly small either, but I have space in every direction here. I also have a towel radiator here, and in the corner. It's original like at home, with roller doors that work purely mechanically, without any spring tensioners or anything like that. Nothing can break at all, and they hold up by themselves below the sink.
That really looks cute here. Outlet there.
And also a little dust tree.
And here below you have the same thing in green again. And then I assume that the toilet is directly above the tank, right?
No, in this case the tank is installed in the intermediate frame. Wastewater and wastewater, grey water and wastewater. Black water tank. In the intermediate space is a Zahaka toilet with a Zahaka pump.
Well, it comes from shipbuilding, which means it works too. Then let the wedding ring out. Just take a look. But it's also nicely done up here with the spacers. The corresponding connection is probably close to 0, right? With the car.
The entire furniture is glued inside. We have a monocoque construction, which means that the structure is torsionally rigid.
That's like a monocoque. That means what you know. FRP, nothing happens there. Also no cracks, etc.
That is tested. And in connection with the auxiliary frame.
Okay. That means the load from the chassis is not on the structure at all. Well, of course you have the auxiliary frame, that's clear. How else could it be? But also here, look how nice it is with the piano hinges, which are made of stainless steel, laminated with FRP and painted inside. Nothing can happen. That means you can shower without any worries.
And the advantage of the FRP painted inside is that you can always wipe it down wherever you go. You might always have some dust in there or a mosquito that got in.
Nothing molds?
Nothing molds, absolutely. Nice.
So, when you step out for a moment, we'll go into the driver's cabin. Because of course, the chauffeur is not quite finished yet. By the way, this happens to me all the time, that the set screws are not tightened. So, and then you have a fairly large intermediate door, which is securely locked with the right security lock on it. But the customer can get in there, because that is the weak point.
This is definitely the driver's cabin. You can't get in there. That's just an entry guide with a grinder in an hour. Chainsaw.
Chainsaw? Well, no one does that either. Yes, Shenandoah, please take a look. Have you found your driver's seat yet? So, here is one bed or two. 1. That means someone can also sleep here. If there is a little argument, the wife can throw her husband out. She can do that. Let's go through quickly. You can tip the driver's cabin normally. Bellows? Yes, it's really great. And I would also like to ask you to come over to us for a moment. Then you can explain a few things to us about the vehicle. I assume there are 4 locks here. Yes. You drive yourself, you have a C.
Exactly, I have.
Very nice. That means you probably also test the vehicles, how they drive and so on. The noise level, you can notice it here. It's very soft here. That means insulation.
Exactly. A lot of insulation. Of course, it's a truck. It has a big engine. You can hear it. It's not like a car or a Tesla, which you can hardly hear.
But it's not an old Unimog in terms of quality, is it?
That's what it's about. It doesn't have a military feel when driving. So there's also the shifting, automatic, retarder, everything you want.
So, then electric parking brake, that's all standard. And there are the locks.
Exactly, those are the locks. It always starts with a center differential lock, then center differential lock plus, rear lock, and then both rear locks, and finally the front lock.
It could also happen that it can get stuck there. It can always happen. Then your trick, what is it, that the hooks move back and forth? Exactly, move back and forth.
That's it.
Large driver's cabin. What is the name of this driver's cabin?
I think it's the classic space. Classic space, yes. I believe there is also an Arocs that is possible in that size.
so you probably maybe perhaps come up here to the roof.
No, that's just a lift roof from over there.
You have a rooftop terrace on top of the driver's cabin. Wow, that's nice. That means you actually don't have to work that much here. You have an automatic transmission, you have an M-Book system, you have a fully digital speedometer here. You have the new mirrors, the fully electronic ones. Additionally, there are front mirrors, which have proven to be effective.
And here we also have a 360-degree view camera installed, so you can see the sides from a bird's eye perspective.
That's just... I occasionally see roads where I wouldn't drive with such a car because it goes down about 1,000 meters. But that excites people. They want a winch there. Does it make sense here?
With such a car, when you want to pull other people out properly, you first have to find an object to hook onto.
That means the tree would probably be pulled out.
That was the case.
Yes, the problem is that if you get stuck somewhere, you use a winch and you can pull your vehicle out with the winch. There are also several things to consider. We made a video about it. And yes, but here it's so heavy. They always say that the object must be twice as heavy as your own vehicle to get a decent grip at all. So what else is there to say? Nothing, right? That means the cab is also available with 3 seats optionally.
Yes. So here there is also the option to order a middle seat factory. This is now a folding table.
Like on an airplane. For example, you can eat and drink.
So, and you are building now. And how much are you building in size per year? So, for the normal series vehicles from 460 mm to 710 mm, I would say we build approximately 27 more vehicles.
Hats off. Yes, you also need to have customers for that. It means you have worldwide fame. The vehicles look good. Oh, a CB radio. Look here. I've heard that it is now also available in the VHF version. So in America, they probably don't drive that often in America. It's probably here in Europe, Asia as well.
The Panamericana is popular to drive. So 3 customers are currently traveling in South and North America because these vehicles do not exist in that form in America in Arocs. And then it only works with shipping.
Yes, the shipping. And then you are the star with Mercedes-Benz Arocs driving the Panamerica, and then they get huge eyes, right?
Exactly. That is already nice.
Panamericana. Yes, thank you very much. Your name again?
The complete Knorr Vitali.
Knorr Vitali. Very nice. You did well. How long have you been with the team?
I've been with the team for about 3 years now.
So, you all stay here. I'm going outside for a moment, then I'll film everything again, so that the people can see the whole thing. You have to see me now as I unfold myself out of here, but I can manage it. By the way, that's the bellows over there. The driver's cabin can be lowered normally, right?
Yes, we have 3 quick release fasteners on each side, 2001, and exactly when you release them, you can tip the bike out as usual.
And here you can also see, please don't break in through the door. That doesn't make sense. Go through the windows or through something else. But that's not necessarily easier either. It's not easier either. That means most people, well, long-distance travelers always say, that's dangerous and so on. But you have little problems there, right?
No, most of them. I would call them crooks. Don't know much about such vehicles. They don't know where, how, what, why, and are rather hesitant about it.
Very nice. So by the way, this is the office space. Above it is the bunk bed that's there. Length of the bunk bed is 1.90 mia. 1.90 mia. So an adult who is a bit shorter could also sleep in it. So then you have proper doors included. Here's a little cabinet. I'll just go through quickly. Now you can see all the way to the back. That means you have a completely open line of sight, not obstructed by anything. This obviously creates a lot of space. Then on the driver's cabin side, there is the large bathroom with a huge shower. Standing height here is also 2 meters. Walls made of fiberglass. Here in the front you have a small window included, of course, a fan from Max Fan. Here is another little cabinet, 2 large fire department style cabinets. And here on the right side is your stove, wardrobes, kitchen on the left side. The seating area, which is currently disassembled due to the tanks, and then the very large bed. Vitali, if I am interested, I can call, I can make an appointment. Where are the vehicles located in Austria?
In Schladming, coming from Germany, 1 hour to Salzburg, in the famous ski area. There we have our headquarters, the final assembly, and always 3, 4, 5 vehicles.
I'll come by.
Gladly.
Look at me. See, You are really completely open, so customers visit, experience pros or career changes.
We have had many career changes recently from the regular motorhome sector.
Do they drive it to the campsite?
No, they want to get away from that. They have been going to the campsite for years, and as is well known, it is getting tighter due to the boom, and people are simply switching to say they want to be freer in their goals and always self-sufficient. And that's why they come to us. Very nice.
Yes, thank you very much. What is the exact name of your company?
Krug Expedition GmbH. Okay, come on.
So the rest is on the website. Otherwise, thank you for watching. And now we will take a look at a vehicle. We still have that much time. You have the 7.5 tonner because that is a sensation. See you soon. Thank you. Bye. And bye. Shenandoah is also amazing again, right? So fantastic. Made in Ukraine, finished in Austria, and now on display at the 60th Caravan Salon. And by the way, this is where we have the opportunity to take a look from above. Absolutely good lightweight construction. 7.5 tons around the Euro with a Mercedes-Benz Atego on it. 4x4. Great car. Until next time, bye.